Okay.
All right, let's see if I can find 53 Southwest.
They're really expensive.
Where are you going? The publishing company?
Wait. So the telegram said information still valuable, see me.
Yep.
Okay, from the publishing company.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a task for
Hold on, let me
Andre,
see
but
if-
not one for Pierre.
Yeah.
Can you pass me that newspaper?
It could be the same guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason. Pierre is one of those things like Paco in Mexico, where people sometimes just use it as a name to call someone something.
Yeah,
So
information
his
still
real name
valuable,
could be on-
period. Not a question. So he's not asking if the information is still valuable. He's telling him the information is still valuable.
So could it be that they sent that wire because they knew that the general was going to die and they wanted to change where he was going to give the information to?
Maybe.
Did those two letters get posted?
In the what? In the newspaper or?
No. He said he wanted to
Yeah,
post
he
two of the
wanted
letters.
2 letters to post.
Did they get posted?
I believe
Or were they taken?
so. Letters to, I don't know. But he pointed to them.
53
and that's-
Southwest.
Where
Peter Betteridge.
Yeah, he
No,
posted
What?
that's
them.
not it.
So, what was the thing about the 2 addresses?
Yeah, what
He was asking about Brick Street and Pont Street. The only house that is labeled on Pont Street is Southwest 53rd, which is Peter Betteridge.
It might have just been pointing us towards the Armstead's house, right? Isn't that what it was doing? What did it say at the end there, Amber?
What did it say about those streets?
I don't know, but he pointed to them and asked where Brick Street and Pont Street were in relation to the hotel. So we wanted
Oh, is
to
that where
know
they're being mailed?
where
to?
they're no.
Oh.
No.
Wait, can I see it?
Letters
Or-
to I don't know, but he pointed to them and okay, so yeah.
that is where the letters are going.
So
Yeah.
that's where they're going.
So maybe that's it.
Other letters going to Peter Betteridge. Wait a second.
So the letters have been posted.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
going to Peter Betteridge.
Well,
So you
one of
think
them
we
is at least.
Oops.
Who is Peter Betteridge?
We don't know.
The
He's
person who
apparently
lives at the
whoever
other
lives at the
address.
corner of those streets.
Oh, that's the only thing on post.
yeah.
On Pont.
Yeah.
Pont and Brick.
This could be like a huge big thing or like a tiny thing that doesn't matter and we just
Yeah.
bother no one over it. But it could be where the other letter is going.
I think that's a very clear hint.
Where do you guys want to go check it out, or do we want to go to the
The
publisher?
vast majority of hints in stories like this are red herrings
Yeah.
that have nothing to do with anything.
But I mean, think about the importance of the letters. Like, who is sending the letters?
The victim.
The victim. So probably has
2 letters, right?
2 letters. So it
Yeah.
probably has something
One
to do with
to
the polar
our
star.
other victim, and one to this other person.
Right. So
Right,
probably
I
had
think that's
competing
a clear
buyers.
lead.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's do it. Maybe we'll find the
Yeah,
other
no,
letter.
that's probably it. He probably has multiple lines in the water.
It could be.
The victim. What does he look like? Does it
Nope.
matter? Does he look like an old Frenchman that would show up with a letter in hand?
I don't
No,
know.
he looks like an old Frenchman that would show up with information about a gem.
Well, see, that's what I mean. That because the guy, according to the Senate story, an old Frenchman appeared with a letter in hand
Peter, what's the
and
place?
said you have to read
53
this.
Southwest.
So,
But
if,
he already had a meeting scheduled for Pierre. Why would Pierre go to his house?
if there was a
Oh.
sense of urgency, if he thought there was a Russian killer on his way. So,
Okay, gotcha.
so it's entirely possible that if we actually had any visual imagery
But why would
to
why
know
would
whether or
he kill
not,
the gem?
There's some stuff.
There's some stuff.
because there's also the other question, which is, if in fact, because the Russian person,
Yeah.
that's a real thing, because we have witnesses who said
Yes,
he's here,
he went up there.
and
Wait.
What, what's wrong?
Before we go to 53 Southwest,
The Russian embassy is
the
next
Russian
door.
embassy is right there as well. Wasn't there something about Russia?
The gem got stolen from a Russian
From
back in
a Russian.
1827 or 72. I believe.
And the dude who strangled
72
Pierre
was Russian.
a
was
giant
16
Russian
years
dude.
ago.
yes.
Something along those lines. I think. I think
And
it
the
was.
guy who
But
Do you guys
he's-
think we should go to 54 Southwest instead?
I think 53 is a better choice.
Okay.
53 is a better choice because, well,
So what's at 53 Southwest?
It's a
What?
random person's house.
this
Peter
this
Betteridge.
address would be listed
Not as
not using
Oh yeah,
Pont Street,
right.
right?
That would be
This would be-
Lowndes Street.
Yeah. So 53 is the only one
Is
on
Pont
Pont
Street.
Street that would
Okay.
be read as that.
Could be a
well,
Here,
this,
Russian
this
guy.
could be two actually.
Want to read 53
could
Southwest?
be, but-
Yeah. Okay. Yes, yes. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is
Yeah,
the
that's
right.
Yeah,
are-
this is a real random, like,
We're on the
Throw
other
that
side of
dart.
the
Dart in
Wait.
with your eyes closed. All right.
We are greeted at the door of Mr. Cabot's home by his butler, Harrison, a thin wisp of a man with frightened eyes.
Is that the right name?
He holds his hand.
This is Butler.
No, Cabot.
No,
Cabot.
Mr. Cabot's home.
Mr. Cabot.
Peter Cabot, right?
No, it was
What?
Peter Betteridge.
what?
Hold on, what number is that?
53 Southwest.
53
Peter Betteridge.
Southwest.
I'm
That's
53.
Southeast. Oh,
53 Southwest.
Betteridge, Peter. You're right. They don't match.
What the?
What?
What is going on?
Twice now.
Well-
Jacques.
Well, let's see what it says.
So, admittedly,
Okay.
we did do this backwards, where we go. The Pont Street was called out. You're supposed to go to the map and go 53 Southwest.
Look.
Whereas I
this,
went.
This might just be a
whose
random
name-
person who lives there.
That's true.
Because
I'll
you
check
were just
Cabot.
looking
Yeah, that's
in
true.
the name
They do
directory.
mention in the London directory that these are represented not just as pure buildings. but-
Cabot Carson does also live there.
Oh well, there you go. Okay,
Okay.
so multiple people live there.
There
All
you
right.
go.
Mr. Cabot's home by
Would-be
his
person.
butler.
What's the rescind to Jacques?
Huh?
What's the rescind to Jacques?
Not, there is no rescind. We will see.
Oh, okay.
Let us finish the narrative.
He holds in his hand a boot and a cleaning rag.
He must be the killer. Go on.
Carson Cabot receives us in his study. He's dressed in a well-cut, expensive
he's
suit.
totally the killer.
In fact, everything about him and his home is expensive. A large man, he sits behind his desk, leaning with his elbows upon it, giving us a hard stare over the tops of two meaty hands clasped under his chin.
Wow, it's really.
hand, dude. For strangling.
But this isn't necessarily our killer. This is just a killer.
Yeah, this is right.
But this may be one of the questions later on.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Don't worry, you can
As-
tell us the truth. We are not here for your murder. We're here for a different murder.
Yeah.
You can kill all the people you need.
As we approach, he suddenly breaks his pose and takes an envelope from the top of his desk and stuffs it away in a drawer.
Oh, God.
Well, dang.
Jacques!
What can I do for you, gentlemen?
The letter, please.
Give us that letter.
You can't. It's not a role playing game, guys.
James, I'd like to take the letter.
It's not a role playing game.
What do I roll for
I'd like to buy a
intimidate?
vowel.
We draw our weapons.
You can roll intimidate. It's not going to work out for you. This guy strangles people to death with his bare hands.
No, we better let's. I was gonna say let Scarlet finish. We gotta let Amber finish
We'll let somebody finish.
because
Okay.
maybe
Roll for
later on we
initiative.
do draw our weapons and force him to give us the letter.
We explain the nature of our inquiry and ask to where he has been all morning. Harrison, tell these people that I've been home all morning. Yes, sir.
Wow.
Suspicious.
Or tell these people that I've been home morning. Home morning, not all morning, just this home morning. Yes, sir. Mr. Cabot has been home all morning. There, you see, Cabot says, rising and starting to come from behind his desk. His eyes suddenly flick towards his feet as he stops his forward motion and retreats back behind his desk and says, Harrison, show them out. Once outside, Wiggins asks if we notice Cabot's abrupt turnabout as he starts to come from behind the desk. I think I know why he stopped, says Wiggins. The man was fully dressed, and yet he was wearing bedroom slippers. Anyway, that's it.
See,
Mm.
if this
Well,
was
okay,
a regular
no.
game, we would roll
But he
for
answered-
initiative right there.
He answered
yeah.
the door with a boot and a rag, so he was
Yeah.
cleaning the guy's shoes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
he was embarrassed to be seen without
He
his
was
shoes.
a well-dressed man. However, it did
So
not
that's all that
say,
means.
we did not deduct that he was Russian.
I don't think he's Russian.
No.
And the
I don't
other-
think
With a
The
name
la-
like Cabot?
The lady said that the guy that came up was Russian.
Now, why would he need his shoes cleaned if
Well-
they weren't covered in blood?
If he wasn't
Well,
Russian?
ink.
ink, because remember
stepped in.
the guy stepped in ink, right?
Yeah.
Wait, who stepped in it?
The killer of
killer.
Peter Martin stepped in ink.
Yeah,
And
because
left
when we were
ink
up there, it
footprints.
is too
Yeah.
bad he did not step further
I think
because
this guy
he had just
may
dipped
be a
the
red
toe,
herring.
and that as the steps went away, it had like worn away.
That's pretty suspicious.
Yeah, he's definitely the killer.
Yeah.
He's just lucky he's not the killer
I don't
we
expect
care
the game
about,
to be
so.
more complex than for that to be the killer of. Well, okay, so we figured out who killed Pierre.
Which will lose us points because we don't care that he killed people.
Well, no, it may gain us points because
that'll
if
get
it's
us
a
extra
question at
points
the end, it
because
gives us
that's gonna be
extra
like
points.
a bonus question.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, we don't care.
Because
You're not the
to
killer
have
we want.
followed,
if you stick
the
your
hard
finger
part
out,
wasn't deducing that
you
he's
see
the
that
killer.
it's
He's obviously the
wavy
killer.
at
The hard part was making the
that's
connection
not
to
following
come
up on
here.
that lead.
Yes,
You have like a
I think that's the
So
actual like
we can
bonus.
see how that works out the points.
Okay.
Point.
Okay, so we
publisher?
So we solved an extra murder. Hooray!
Sure, let's go to the publisher. It's
Extra credit was gonna be
41
important.
West Chapel.
Wait, where's that?
Gimme.
Yes, 41 West Chapel.
The publisher.
Are we doing the publisher? We're not going to go to the.
What are you talking about? This is gold.
We're not going to go to Somerset
Keeping
House.
all this.
No, we're going to publisher.
All right.
Norgate and Co.
Which was
Norgan and Co.
No, Norgate.
So we're going to Norgan and Co, the publisher.
Nordstrom's?
Norgate.
Norgate. Excuse me,
Yeah,
Norgate.
Yeah.
and company. Okay. We ready?
Yes.
Clive Dornan at Norgate and Co. tells us about General Armstead's revision of the treasures of conquerors. In March, we received a letter from Pierre Martin from Paris addressed to the general. We forwarded it to him. 2 days later, the general came to see us with the news that the author of the letter knew the whereabouts of the fabulous diamond called the Polar Star that once belonged to Joseph Bonaparte, Napoleon's brother. He believed that the information was genuine because the letter contained a detailed description of how the gem was stolen from its last known owner, Count Rostov, a Russian. It also contained details of the lime and the place of the sale to its present owner, who actually commissioned the theft. An Englishman, the general was very anxious to include the chapter on the diamond in a revised edition of his book. The only reason that such a chapter had been omitted from the first edition was for the want of that final bit of information. For our part, we were very anxious to publish such a revised edition. The original publication caused quite a stir among the public. You see, many of the treasures were in effect reconquered by their present owners, by whatever means available, fair or foul. Many of them had secrets to hide. The revelation of those secrets created quite a sensation. The more libel suits that were pressed against us, the more the book sold. Envisioning another such scandal with regard to the Polar Star, we immediately made the announcement in the Times. As soon as we did, letters began pouring in, some simply rejoicing in news, some reserving copies, and some, anonymous of course, forecasting doom for the general should the book be released. Was there any pattern to those letters? Did they appear to have come from any one person? No, although we never saved any to compare them. We simply burned them as they came in. Have you had any contact with Pierre Martin? I knew that he was in town to meet with the general. I have a draft for the £5,000 ready. When I learned of the general's death, I wired Monsieur Martin that his information is still valuable to us.
Oh, that's that telegram we saw.
Yeah.
And that's it. So it could be that the whole death thing is about the new owner of the diamond doesn't want anyone to know because it was stolen.
An Englishman that contracted a Russian to steal from the Russian.
Yep.
Yeah, so stolen
contracted
from the
someone to
Russians.
steal.
Why
Flying
in
English.
Rostov?
Maybe.
No.
No,
The Englishman is the one that contracted someone to steal from the Russian.
Right, so the Englishman has it.
Yeah.
Or someone's associated with that person.
They,
Yeah.
Wait, so they know definitively that it was an Englishman who hired
someone to
but
steal.
they don't know who exactly.
According to this narrative.
And
Yeah.
so Pierre
And that
did.
was quite a while ago.
It's just top one. To,
Yeah, that's it. Well, what do we want to do next? Do we want to solve? We have quite a bit of information.
We do have quite a bit.
I mean,
Oh.
what like?
I feel
guy
like we
did it.
can't. We still don't have
Batman
good
did it.
answers
Yeah.
to any motive.
We have
questions.
lots of information. We don't
Oh,
have
James.
very much dependable.
Yeah,
you
okay,
sure
so
you were
here's-
saying we should check the birth certificate?
Yes, we want to go to Somerset House and look through all of the information that might be there.
Okay, here's a question. If
Where's Somerset?
Pierre
17
was
West Church.
killed because he had information about the Polar Star, why did they also kill the general?
Yeah. Because
Because he may have already been acquiring some of that information.
So
the general is the one who wants the information.
So-
who wants to know where it is.
yeah, you don't pay £5,000. Like that's a lot of money in those days for
Yeah.
information that you've already got.
Yeah.
They were
No, of course,
prob-
but he's somebody who wants to find it.
So they could want to keep it under wraps, so they just killed him off for future pretenses.
They were probably worried that he already had the
Yeah.
information.
If you have a star and somebody is desperately looking for who has it, I mean, if you can get rid of them, that'd be good.
Right, but is it really something to kill somebody over? That would just invite
And
more.
especially a public figure like
more-
a general.
Yeah, that would invite more people poking around.
I'm not saying it was well done.
Well, you think if their intent was to keep the star hidden, they would have like taken different steps, right?
And so the other thing is that
Yeah.
it's not like they're going to stop the publication of this last chapter, right? Because the publishing house clearly has already been in contact, knows that they've got a lot of information. They didn't steal the manuscript.
Right, and they even sent him a telegram that says information's still valuable.
Right. So I
So
I-
why
It
was he
makes sense to kill
killed?
Pierre, but,
I honestly don't think that the general's death is connected with the Polar Star.
So then why was he killed? Why possibly kill him? Because it's not it's not the lottery and it's not the Polar Star.
do you think?
So,
do you think
okay.
that, do we think that Cabot has the star?
Cabot?
The guy who killed Pierre.
I mean, he could, but then we'll again.
I mean, why
like,
would he have killed?
I don't think we have
Pierre?
any real evidence of that.
yeah.
So okay, so we know that the general has a large number of assets that are sort of jointly owned, or he owns partial stock, and his brother-in-law owns the rest of the shit's stock in a number of profitable
We
companies.
could.
Should we talk to Fitch?
How do we phone a friend?
Abercrombie.
You can go to Sherlock Holmes and get hints, but that wastes the whole location.
I want to go to Somerset House.
What's in Somerset?
I agree. Checking
The
out the birth and death certificates.
Okay.
Although I somewhat doubt that's going to be valuable, but
And that
It's
was 17?
it's not a bad idea.
yeah.
As far as
Alright.
finding connections that we haven't established here, because
I don't think it's
it's
on here.
we don't have any really solid connections to go off of.
Somerset House should be on the back there.
Oh, Somerset House.
And then
It's
if that doesn't
17
give
West
anything, I think I say we
I
get a
found
Fitch.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we
Okay.
should go to Fitch too.
West Court?
Uh oh. Yep.
Wait, what?
Let's just keep
17. It's
exploring.
just not very
Whatever.
long. 17 West Court.
Yep.
Okay. What do we got?
At Somerset House, we dig up the following information. Robert Jurgens, born 1808. Entire estate willed to the Seaman's Fund. Anita and Claire Thomas, both born in 1810. Entire
These are the
estate
winners.
willed to the Audubon Society, or Audubon Society. William Rowland, born 1811. No will. Peter Dudley, born 1813. Entire estate willed to wife Martha Farnsworth Armstead. Martha Farnsworth Armstead, born 18... Oh, that's a period. Farnsworth Armstead, born 1815. Entire estate willed to form the Armstead Foundation, an organization to be dedicated to the study of military history. So basically, if he dies, then everything's dedicated to the study of military history.
So they're basically all death records about where people willed all their stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's basically just information about the people in the Tatine.
That is very unfortunate,
Lame.
considering that Again, in the real world, we'd be able to
We
find.
would have asked
some-
all these questions
Yeah.
and had known
Yeah.
something.
So, remember in
Um,
the few things that we actually read from the history that describes like the various telegraphs that were sent? What was the one that came from Paris? Do you remember? Was it at the publisher or at the hotel where they said that they received a telegram from Paris?
What did the telegram say? Do you recall?
The reason I'm curious is because in the paper today, there is a personal that says telegram from Paris not understood. Only restoration of book required, signed Sycamore. So it's a secret message that basically says, hey, I don't understand your telegram. I only want the book restored. Which suggests that the telegram suggests something different.
Yeah.
If I were in some sort of conspiracy about like this kind of thing, this would be how I would send it, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
wanting
yeah.
the book restored could imply return to his rightful owner, or
That's true.
no, don't kill the man. I only want the book set to its original thing without this extra information. Like this could contain tons of pregnant information.
So maybe Senate killing him off was a mistake.
Like yeah, it's basically there's a lot of information here that can suggest that a person who knows what this means will understand it. Anyone else would say, "Oh, this is just an innocuous message about like a book restoration," but
Right.
someone else would go, "No, this is about the book, and I want something about that book that your telegram suggests otherwise."
Could also refer to a code book to decipher the said telegram.
No, that's too deep. There's nothing else that suggests that. Like I'm
That's
basically
what first came to my mind.
because I'm thinking that one of these telegrams we read about that came from Paris says something that suggests that either they have more information or they're going to do something, which the receivers says, no, that's not what we meant.
The capital letters.
I mean, where can we go
don't
to-
spell anything.
Where can we go to check that out? Yeah, I tried that the first time too.
Yeah. Ooh,
Unless it's one of those,
Times.
unless it's one of those interesting codes that is only every four.
Oh, we gotta go there.
But yeah, so because the thing is that I feel like if we had gone to the right places, because I feel like there's a couple places we should have gone to that we haven't yet, and there have already been a couple of telegraphs from Paris that have been described in the various narratives we read. I just don't remember them like in detail, but I remember there were two narratives that include
I
references
think
to
the
telegraphs from
only
Paris.
telegraphs we have heard about were at the publishing company. That was the telegraph that they sent.
And there was one at the hotel,
inn,
right?
it was the telegraph that they got from the publishing company,
Oh, not from.
not from Paris, as I recall.
Well, we can go back for free, right? Can we reread
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
reread it for free.
Do you remember what the hotel one was?
Oh,
Did not
one
read
second. I'll get it.
I feel like we have inadequate information, but I don't know if we should
Southeast.
expect to find
3
more
southeast.
adequate information.
Well, so I think Fitch is a major lead that we haven't followed yet.
I think that is the best remaining option.
Who's Fitch
available
again?
to- He's the
Business
this brother-in-law.
partner.
Right.
Yep, and they've unwilling business partners.
Yeah, didn't like
and
each
a lot
other.
of mutual assets.
That's right.
Yeah,
Like that is a clear motive for murder, if I've ever heard.
but the will of the general specified that was the general's will,
Lord
right?
Malcolm Fitch.
Right.
39 Southwest.
Yeah, he
But
doesn't get
his
anything
stuff
from
would
his
go
death.
to the military.
But if the general is no longer exercising his control over those companies,
Yeah,
you know, that's economic incentive enough for Fitch, perhaps.